Greetings, everyone. Greetings. This is another show that we have planned for you. Yes, this is Coach Kelly. We have another exciting guest. Yes. We have another exciting guest. Yes, we are interviewing Craig Sotkovsky, and this young man is just brilliant. But first, please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Also, we're back on Facebook. Yes, we're back on Facebook, so please share with your family and friends, and please learn from these guests that we're interviewing. They're all spectacular. They all have things that they have conquered. They have challenges that they've conquered. They're doing things. They're productive in their societies. They are making a plan and making it happen. Please, ma'am, please, sir, just like, subscribe, find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Again, please like and subscribe and share. Please do those things. So we're going to get into our show, and we got to do our little promo and all that other good stuff. So let's stay tuned. So welcome. So we're back. Have to bring up this wonderful gentleman who we met through Clubhouse. I tell you, Clubhouse, y'all. If y'all ain't on Clubhouse, y'all miss it. All the movers and shakers, they're on Clubhouse. So you need to sign up for Clubhouse or be invited to Clubhouse. You have some issues with that, just hit me up in a direct message and I'll try to help to get you on. All right. We're going to introduce Craig Sotkovsky. First of all, Craig is a 911 volunteer at the World Trade Center, lung cancer survivor, professional speaker, real estate investor, and mentor who shares his story and inspires others to learn from his mistakes, find their path, and live their dreams. His was not an easy journey. Suffering the same shame of sexual abuse during his early childhood, he later struggled with a mind-numbing addiction to opiates, and would later use his pain and transmute it into a victory as he went on to realize world-class success as a certified Les Brown Power Voice Summit speaker. Craig will guide you to Craig will guide you to your inner journey. Use his lessons to transform and unleash your I am. Craig is not a teacher, but rather a facilitator in your awakening, giving you the tools to discover your true essence, your reasoning for incarnating, and how you can truly live from the heart while expressing your liberated self. Today, it is not only possible, but also preferable to step outside the norm and be yourself, as there is no one else quite like you. This gentleman just magnificent, y'all. That's just a brief. Now, if y'all don't believe what I said, y'all need to go and see. Craig's been on Fox 5 Atlanta, on Beacon of Light Radio, on Online Prosperity, and the Better Business Book Volume 4. Also, he's a contributing writer to time.com. I tell y'all got to give it up for this gentleman. He's just beyond magnificent, y'all. Come on, y'all. Let's give him a round of applause. Welcome, Craig. Welcome. See, I had to clap for you. They had to clap for you. How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing good. How's everything going?
I'm doing fine. So, first of all, it says that you were a volunteer at the 9/11 when the World Trade Center was attacked. You were there. I mean, what prompted you to volunteer to help others?
Well, I was living across the river in New Jersey, Jersey City, And my wife was a photographer at the time, and I walked out of my house and I saw the first tower on fire. I went around the corner to our other house, got her out of bed, told her to grab her camera, and we went down to the river. And it was pretty crazy because it pure chaos, right? And she was asking me, so what do you think's going to happen and stuff? And I told her, being in construction, I was like, eventually what's going to happen is that top's going to fall over and damage all the buildings. And as I was saying that, boom, it just started dropping. She's got towers in sequence as they're falling.
Wow.
And everything was pandemonium. So we had walked back to, I forgot the name of the street down there. It's been 21 years. But as we were going to Liberty State Park, we, just trying to recall some stuff. We were told that the other one was coming down, and we turned around and looked, and she got that one in sequence as well. And when we got to Liberty State Park, it was a good walk. When we got to Liberty State Park, we started seeing everybody coming off of boats and all kinds of beat upness, right? Covered in ash and bleeding, and people just getting off. And I told my wife, I said, I got to get there. And it took me literally 2 days to get there, because they weren't allowing, the first day they weren't allowing everybody from the Jersey City side coming on a boat. Second day, I got on a boat. We got turned away at Battery Park, I'm sorry. And what happened was, when we started to pull back from Battery Park, because the Coast Guard was there, or the military or whatever, they were like, nah, you ain't getting off. So we started going back, and I saw a baby carriage. I actually have the picture. There was a baby carriage just sitting in the park, and it kind of like freaked everybody out on the boat, because it was like, man, what was this person thinking? Guy, girl, it doesn't. We don't know, right? But to snatch your baby out and then run like hell, like, what was that like? I got over there the third day.
Wow.
And on the Jersey side, there was trucks just loading everything up to ship on the boats going over. And I saw these buckets, and I was like, what are these buckets for? I eventually found out what they were for. It was one bucket at a time. That's how everything was getting dug out originally. See, I was there 2 days of the first 5, and found out, I think it was in 2015 or whatever, that you needed to be there 4 hours of the first 5 days. And I was there for 2. And subsequently in 2017, I was diagnosed with lung cancer.
Wow. So, wow. First of all, how were you able to keep your mental state intact prior to knowing that you were going to be diagnosed with cancer later? How were you able to? Did you have some challenges mentally going through that?
Yeah, absolutely. Beforehand, I had gotten hit with 2 hurricanes in 3 weeks in Florida, wiped out our real estate portfolio, 30 doors, and that was 3 years after 9/11. And then I started teaching about banking, and from this incident, from the hurricanes, I started realizing what banks were all about and insurance companies were all about. Then I started speaking at convention centers on real estate finance. I was a note creator. I was showing people how to create notes, which is coming around now, but we can get to that later. We can get to that later.
Right. So, how long after the 9/11 tragedy, how long after that did you find out that you were battling this illness?
So I moved to Mexico with my wife and daughter in January of 2009, after the real estate debacle that we got caught in. And in 2012, I started getting sick, and I was diagnosed with pneumonia and a collapsed lung. And that was the first time. That I realized that I was in a little bit of trouble.
Wow.
Because I was like, there's no reason why somebody's got to be in this kind of pain. Because I was in pain all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2012, we moved back to the States in 2015. 2016, I was diagnosed with pneumonia and pleurisy 3 times.
Wow.
So I was literally sick almost the whole year. 2017 rolls around, and there was a solar eclipse, and we were in Helen, Georgia. And I'm an avid hiker. I mean, I love walking and all of that stuff. And I was trying to get up the hill, and I couldn't. And I was diagnosed that day. Yeah, went to the hospital after that because I was profusely sweating. It was hitting hard. And yeah, and it was funny because, not funny, haha, but funny, the guy had told me that I had malignant lung cancer in front of my wife and my 11-year-old daughter at that time, and I had to contain myself because I was ready to throw him through the wall.
Wow.
Because my daughter's standing right next to me when he says this. So I mean, I've learned a lot about the medical system in the United States in the last few years.
Okay. Wow. And so, what got you through all that? Your mindset.
Everything is mindset. Everything
Okay.
everything that we think about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the mind takes over and is usually negative.
Right.
The mind
True.
has it. Right. So we deal with the reticular activating system. I had lived in Jamaica with a buddy of mine. He was savant, and he was proficient in like 9 different martial arts, and he wanted to show me so I could protect him, which was kind of funny, right? So we lived in a hut. And he showed me what the mind could do, and how you could literally shut everything down. And I'm talking about every day. We were practicing. I watched this gentleman take a candle and put it behind books and put it out. And he was standing like 10, 15 feet away. And that just literally blew my mind. And I wanted to know how he did that.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, he showed me.
Wow.
He showed me what the mind can do. And, once we get rid of the distractions of everything, then we can tap into who we are. And a lot of people are afraid of that, going into that dark space.
True. Wow. So, during this time, were you documenting things? How did you get to the point where you start writing? Before the book, how did you...
Well, my book, Everybody Pays a Vig, I came back to the United States in 2015 to launch my book, Everybody Pays a Vig, and to go to a speaking career. And that got sidestepped, to battle lung cancer.
Okay.
And I should have been dead probably like 6 times in that period. And my wife and my daughter would always just push me, get out of bed, man. You got to get up. You got to do something. Because my wife is, she's a huge driver in my life.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, definitely. You can't have a pity party, man. You got to get up, got to get out. We got stuff to do.
So you just kept moving.
Got to keep moving, man. And it was funny because when I was getting my bilobectomy, I had a rigid bronchoscopy and a flexible. And I think it was the flexible. They nicked the carcinoid tumor in my lung, and that almost killed me. I was in the hospital for about a week.
Wow.
With all kinds of nastiness going through my blood. And it was interesting because when I was going to get my surgery, it was a 9-hour surgery. And the doctors and nurses wanted to know, like, how is it that you're able to get this radical surgery, right? And you're walking in like you're going to a dentist. What are you going to do? I got stuff to do, man. Take this thing out and let's go. But coach.
Yes, sir.
Anything that you could possibly think about happened.
Okay.
So I had the one doctor. He bent the epidural that was in my back. I had another doctor pull my drain tube out of my rib. And I had the nurse, she Well, there's no other way of saying it. She tripped over my catheter and it popped out halfway.
Oh no.
And let me tell you something. I can still feel that pain.
Was it like a pop when she did it?
It was more than that.
Wow.
It was more like an ah.
If y'all enjoying this interview as I am, y'all, please remark in the comments. First, let us know where you're from, and please, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll sure ask Craig. Oh my God! So it was more than a pop. Okay, so wow, you got through that, but you kept moving. See, that's the difference between somebody that got places to go as opposed to somebody that's gonna lay there and not do anything. And it's awesome to see what you've done and what you're doing. So you got that situation straight now. How did you segue into I'm sorry, into speaking? How did that happen?
Well, in 2000 and I think it was 2005. I mean, I'm going off memory here. I got no notes or whatever. We created one of the first online repositories of owner finance and lease purchase properties in the world.
Oh.
This is when we first, right? So I was speaking at convention centers back then.
Oh, okay.
But back then, I wasn't really dealing with stuff that happened to me as a child. So I'd get off stage and I would think that I wasn't worthy of the accolades that I was getting, and started getting into like self-sabotaging behaviors.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was in Mexico where I really started to, I don't even know if I can say this on it, but I started getting into psychedelics to get rid of all the stuff that was in my head.
Okay. I got you. No, I want you to just tell your story. I'm not, this ain't, relax, be you. But it helped get you to focus. Like you just said, get rid of the stuff out of your head, but it helps you focus.
It made me realize that I had to really just deal with the things that I didn't want to deal with.
Okay.
For the longest time. Like when I was writing my book, I used 3x5 cards and blue painter's tape. And I have stuff all over my walls, everywhere. Stuff all over my walls. There's notes everywhere. And the reason why is because I was taught that the subconscious picks up everything.
Okay.
So you could write things on your wall and recall it later.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Subconsciously. And it amazed me. So I kind of made it like a game. And I would put stuff all over the walls. I've been doing this stuff for years.
That's different. I like that.
You have to make breakthroughs for yourself,
mm-hmm.
right? I mean, I've spent the resources on coaches and mentors and psychologists and psychiatrists and everything that can tap into my head, because I want to know. I look at it this way. This isn't a dress rehearsal. This is a one shot, one hit deal, right?
Right.
So as I'm going out, Les Brown told me I was being chased by a chalk outline, and you gotta move, you gotta get up, you have to be before you are.
Right.
So I started studying more epigenetics.
Okay.
Learning how the quantum field works.
Okay.
Learning how when you have a heart and brain coherence, everything just magnifies. Like your life comes alive. Like you come alive. And I'm passionate about teaching this stuff.
Wow.
Because everybody has greatness within them. We all have stories of why we can't do things that hold us back.
Right.
I'm not holding myself back.
Wow. So you're not really a teacher. You like to facilitate.
Well, I realize that I can't teach people anything.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because whatever I say to you, it's going to be, everything that you listen is going to be based off your experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So if you haven't experienced what I'm talking about, I can't teach you anything.
Right.
All right? A lot of people don't realize that the pain and misery and suffering that they go through is pretty much self-imposed.
Wow. 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 That's a good one. That's a good one. Wow.
And it doesn't, it really, and I don't mean to sound callous, because we all have horror stories, but it's the emotional attachment that we have to these stories that keep us in our comfort zone, where we don't get radically uncomfortable with ourselves in order to create the change that we want to see.
Wow. Wow. So you already had speaking experience. So after after you conquered cancer, did you start speaking more, and did you include that into your story as you would be on the stage?
So as I was battling cancer, we didn't really get to any stages yet. Everything's been online for the most part, with COVID shut down and all of that stuff, right?
Okay.
So we closed for like 2 years. I was dealing with the physical and mental pain of the surgery, because what they don't tell you when they extract your parts is they cut all the nerves through your ribs.
Wow.
Right. So for 2.5 years, I had to constantly be on mentally. So I was learning how to shut the pain down.
Okay.
And turn it off, because it was pain that morphine didn't help. So the way I describe it is, if you have a table, okay, you lean your ribs into the table and pick your arm up. So this way your body is just laying into the corner of the table.
Okay.
That's what it felt like for 3 years, 2.5 to 3 years, every day, every minute of every day.
Wow. Wow. Y'all, if y'all enjoying this as I am, please let us know in the comments. This is amazing. Wow. So, man, I just find what you're doing is amazing, and
I appreciate it.
So you taking that and you help people with their paradigm shifts, and you help people rise and find out who they really are and why they are here. Now, how has that been working?
So I wanted, like, as I was going through all this cancer stuff, I was teaching young entrepreneurs in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And what happened was, as I was helping them facilitate their business, started to realize more and more that all our mistakes are based off the story that we tell ourselves. Then I started to reach back into when I was speaking back in the day about not being able to handle the accolades and get into self-sabotage mode. That's what I was explaining to these young adults. Some of them picked it up real fast. And, if you go to my website and you see who I have coached, I still pinch myself that I get to do this every day.
So it's your passion now. You enjoy doing it.
Well, it's not so much that I help. It's more I put a mirror in front of people and let them help themselves. Because remember, I can't teach anybody anything. The only thing I can do is reveal.
Wow. Now for y'all, you all go to his site, create Sotkovsky.com. I'm telling you, you will be amazed at not only the site. You need to see what he's done. He has a free one-time 15-minute strategy call. Again, a free one-time 15-minute strategy call. I'm just all over the letters today. But I'm being transparent, y'all. I had struggled with saying his last name right and typing it right. I had to type it 3 times. Yes, I make mistakes. And I said, Craig, am I saying it right? He said, Sotkovsky. He said, yes. I had an F in the wrong spot. I was like, oh, God. But he was genuine. He said, Coach, you good. But back to his site, the Mind Mastery, okay? And then the 8 steps to success. Please, ma'am, please, sir. He's a dynamic speaker, author, And he has, go to his site. You'll see what I'm talking about. Look at the folk that he's coaching and he's still in contact with. And he's a Les Brown certified speaker. So that tells you a lot in itself. He knows how to speak. He knows how to deliver. So you made it through that journey. And so how did you keep your businesses afloat during this tough time? I mean, you said
it was difficult.
Oh, okay.
Actually went under in 2020.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, cancer in the United States will wipe you out if you don't have enough steaks in the freezer.
That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah. I just bought a farm last year.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks. We're creating a mushroom farm.
Oh, what's the term? Mushroom. I know what it is. I just can't. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's not a magic mushroom farm. It's a medicinal farm because I'm going after all the people that are sick.
Okay.
I'm one of tens of thousands who are sick and dying right now from 9/11.
Okay.
And I've been making my own products to keep myself going.
Okay.
In 2020, I had 8 procedures and surgeries. 2021, I had a knee ablation. It gave me 3 blood clots. It took me out for like 7 months, maybe, consistently. And now I'm at a point now where probably a couple days ago, I just stopped walking with a cane. So I'm starting to physically become better.
That's good. So what do you do outside of business, real estate? You're a family man, you have children. What do you like? What takes your mind off of all this? What kind of activities do you enjoy?
Hiking.
Really?
Hiking and martial arts, yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. Martial arts. What degree?
No degree.
Oh.
No degree. Zero, none.
Okay.
It's funny because in Mexico, every time we'd go for we're going to go for another belt or whatever, I wouldn't go.
Really?
I wouldn't go. Yeah, I'd take a month off and just come back later. My sensei used to be like, "What are you doing, man?"
Oh, really?
Like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
You were fine with just the basics and just enough.
I just need to. I lived with somebody who was savants for 6 months.
Okay.
I mean, he would walk up to me and run his fingers along my arm, and you would think you're being cut with a sword. I mean, the mind plays amazing tricks on you, so you can play amazing tricks on the mind back.
Okay.
And that's when you become nobody.
Wow.
That's the whole point. Is becoming nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're all trying to become something.
Mm-hmm.
But we already are. We're light seeking a human experience.
Right.
Not humans seeking enlightenment.
Right. So your book, Everybody Pays a Vig. Could you explain a little bit about that, please?
Sure. It's just it's Everybody Pays a Vig, one man's entrepreneurial journey, and it's just a book of my stories.
Okay.
It's all my screw ups. It's all the things that held me back. It's all the things that I ran into, and I wrote it for entrepreneurs because we all think that we're going through this craziness that we call life alone, and we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have realized is nobody laughs or cries in a different language. And once we start to understand that, we talk about our commonalities rather than our differences.
Mm-hmm.
That's when everything starts to change for us as humans.
Wow. So that book, Everybody Pays a Vig, please get it off his site at Craig Sotkovsky is down on the screen. Please support his site. Get it from him. Okay, get it from the author. So how after you wrote that book, has it give you more exposure, speaking engagements?
Gave me more exposure.
Okay.
I got to number 8 in business bios on Amazon.
Wow.
And I was like right next to Jeff Bezos and like all the big dogs because there wasn't any subgroups. It was just biology.
Wow.
Right? And it was really cool. But 10 days into it, I got hacked.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, and the thing is, it was my fault. I was stupid because I should have just kept going on social media. But
Hmm.
I was concentrating so much on the email campaign that I learned a lot
Okay.
in that experience. Because the next one was a 100-story book, 100 authors, and that
Okay.
became a bestseller in a series.
Wow.
So
Congrats.
I'm learning. Thanks, appreciate it. I'm learning how to elevate myself,
Hmm.
right, to be the person. This is a really important thing that I want to tell people is you have to become the person that you want to be
Hmm.
now before the actual event. So you change your emotions now. Because what I started to realize when I was becoming what people would say is success, I didn't believe in myself.
Mm.
It was a half-hearted effort. It
Wow.
wasn't a full-blown go get it. It was like, what are people gonna say, and what are people gonna, do about this? And what are they gonna talk about me? And nobody's talking about you. Nobody cares. Everybody's got their own life. What people say about you is none of your business.
Hmm.
And I'm sitting here. I'm gonna be 57 in a couple weeks,
Okay.
and I sit here and I laugh at most of my life, simply because you start to realize as life goes on, man, everybody wants to be somebody that they're not.
Ah, good point. Good point.
So when you want to become yourself and become nobody, that's when everything starts to get really interesting in this world.
Mm,
And when I
mm,
say nobody, it's all about epigenetics for me.
mm.
When you're able to change how you think, how you feel, and how you act, I think they're like two tweaks away from literally becoming
Right.
superpowers, man.
Right.
When you tap into yourself and the superpower of who you are, that greatness within, there's a light that turns on and everybody starts to notice. And that's what I
Mm.
love to do. That's what I love to do. That's why I'm a facilitator, not a
Okay.
teacher.
Wow. Y'all, I'm getting so much value from this interview. Craig is dropping major bombs. Please, ma'am, because we got to close out this show. And if you a little later, because we got some more questions, but please follow him on YouTube, follow him on Twitter, follow him on Instagram, follow him on LinkedIn. Okay,
Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, more importantly, Clubhouse. And we
Clubhouse is it.
oh god, yeah.
Clubhouse. Yeah.
Oh my
Clubhouse
god,
is a monster.
man, my best growth has become from Clubhouse in a
Absolutely.
short period
Mine.
of time, just because of connections, meeting individuals like you who have taken Map TV to the next level. I appreciate you, man, because I had to
No,
do
I
a mindset
appreciate it.
shift, and I was like, when you reached out, I was like, I'm doing my research. I was like, oh, thank you. It's rare you can interview 911 volunteer, cancer survivor, real estate investor, facilitator. Okay, and we met off Clubhouse, and then
Clubhouse is it.
I like being in the rooms that you're in, the real estate rooms, and as I usually sit at the bottom and I'm quiet because I'm learning. Okay, they may call me to the stage, and I'll sometimes come up, but a lot of times I'm just sitting there learning. But y'all, please follow Craig, find him, do your due diligence, and see he's legit. Okay, go on Clubhouse, be on in some of the rooms that he's in. You will learn a ton. Just be quiet, take your pen out, and write some of this stuff down, and actually do the work. Do the work. We've met.
See, Coach, that's the best part about Clubhouse, right?
Right.
So you know who's full of crap just by listening to them,
Yes.
right? And the thing is, it's like what a lot of people do, is myself included, is you give away things for free.
Yes.
And the reason why is because 99% of the people aren't going to do anything anyway.
Yes. 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 That's so true. That is so true. Most of the people not gonna do it, but then where the folk are making the money is, uh, they they want to be held, hold their hand, Alex Hormozy said that in the interview he was doing off Lewis Howes show, and it was a 2-hour interview, and I absolutely loved it because he's saying the same that you're saying, the same thing you just said. Just keep dumping value, but then they're gonna come to you and they're gonna say, Craig, could you please, can I join your coaching program? I think you're magnificent. And then, if they take action, they get the result. If they don't, they'll be back at square one. But you said it right.
Here's the thing, right? So, like, I talk people out of taking my course.
Okay.
Because and the reason behind it is I don't just take people's money because I value my time.
Right.
And I value my message. Right. If somebody is not going to take action, I'm not going to coach them.
Smart.
I mean, they have to be in a spot because it's an application. They tell me about themselves first. I wanted to save the world, and then I realized the world didn't need saving.
Right.
The world's fine all on its own.
Right. That makes sense. See, you being honest. You're not chasing the money. You know
what? There's so many scams, cons, rip-offs. I mean, and it's like $7,500, $5,000, $8,000. Take my master class. It's like, I don't have a master class, man. I got a master show.
Right.
And the show is getting people into radically uncomfortable with themselves, and that's the only time that they're going to change.
True.
They have to be so mad at themselves, like, why did I waste this time? And then it's like, nah, man, 2 tweaks, and I give everybody a takeaway. So for your show, I'm going to give everybody a half hour.
Okay.
Did
y'all hear that?
30 minutes.
Y'all need to take advantage of this offer that we just have. Please go to CraigSotkovsky.com. He just gave you all an offer just being on the MAP TV show. Again, wait a minute, let me play that DJ horn. He just gave an
Coach,
offer.
I want so many people to, like, get over themselves.
Right.
Stop buying ridiculous crap that you're trying to impress people with.
Right.
It holds people back. It makes them uncomfortable trying to be somebody else.
Right.
You can only be comfortable in your own skin.
Right.
Be comfortable for yourself, not anybody else.
Right. That's right. Be comfortable in yourself. You don't gotta be.
That's when your superpower kicks in, man. And
right.
You become you. You've been fighting your whole life to become you. Do it.
Right.
Don't be who people think that you're supposed to be. Society says you're supposed to be one way. We have to be taught this, and we have to buy that. You don't have to do any of that nonsense, man. None of that.
That's true. That is true. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. As long as you're willing to get uncomfortable.
Right.
Because that's what it's going to take.
That's true.
Greatness, everybody has greatness. Everybody has done great things.
True.
Got to believe in yourself.
That's so true. That's so true. Again, y'all, he sign up. He's instead of 15 minutes, just because you were here, make sure you say, hey, I saw you on Coach Keller's MAP TV, and he knows that you were watching. Hit him up. He just gave you an offer. See? So
that sounded like my bike.
Right? He just gave an offer. Instead of 15 minutes, he's giving you all in MAP TV land. He's giving you 30 minutes. See, that's why it pays to show up and be on time, because you never know what blessing you're gonna walk into. So, Craig, what do you have planned for fourth quarter of this year? What's on your agenda?
So I've been starting to feel really good physically.
Good.
I'm tapping more into the abilities that I have physically. I want to go back to spinning nunchucks, staff. I haven't been able to do that in years because
Wow.
physically couldn't raise my arms up
Mm-hmm.
because of all the nerve damage that I've had. I have
Right.
holes like literally all over the place
Okay. Okay.
that have been stitched up, and
Wow. Well, you
so
look good, man.
well, thank you. I'm so dashing.
Wow. So that's your focus in business wise. You got anything planned for fourth quarter, or just maintaining?
It's more about getting my message out on
Okay.
Clubhouse, right? It's about doing the classes on Clubhouse.
Okay.
It's about helping the people that want the help,
Mm-hmm.
so they can help the people that want the help. Right?
Mm.
Each one reach one and teach one.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
If you compound that interest, like I was telling Les Brown when he was critiquing my life, that I wanted to have 1 million people at my funeral, and he was like, "That makes no sense." Like, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Well, to me it does, because if I have 1 million people at my funeral, it means I've impacted hundreds of millions of people around the world."
Mm.
And we have that platform of Clubhouse where we can actually do that.
Yes.
So that's my main focus, and coaching. Of course.
Wow. Wow. So y'all follow him, Sotkovsky.com, and he's on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. You can find his interviews. Go YouTube them. In fact, the interviews that he's done, they're on his page. Just go see what he's talking about. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Yeah. So Craig, you all right guy with me. I mean, you reached out one to
Appreciate it, Coach.
come to Map TV, and y'all know we was cracking up prior to the show getting started. He's hilarious. So, any last words, Craig? Anything you want to leave with the audience?
Yeah, it's just nobody laughs or cries in a different language. So go out there and just be nice, because you never know who you're going to meet. We're all going through something right now.
Right.
Right now, we're all going through something.
Right.
So if you can go through it, you could become anything that you want. Just don't hold yourself back. Don't hold yourself back. Blind, crippled, or crazy, man. Doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter. We have the internet. We could be our own broadcasters. We could be our own coaches. We could be our own facilitators. Learn, grow, move on. We have to move from the stories that are holding us back. That's what's going to give us good, solid decisions in our lives.
Wow. That's a golden nugget moment right there. We got applause for that one. That was good. Ooh, I ain't just saying it because you said it. That was a good one. So, like I said, man, I was honored that you reached out and want to be on Map TV, because you just helped take our show to another level with your knowledge, your story, your expertise, and how you're blessing the community with knowledge. And I mean, you helped me prior to the show going on. What do you tell me? Hey, Coach, it's in your mind. And I was like, you know what? He's right. I said, let me make this shift. Okay. And so I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Don't hang up, because I got to do the after review. So if y'all,
I'm honored to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity, Coach.
well, man, thank you. So hold on, Craig. Hold on. Let's go back to here, y'all. This is live, y'all. I'm hitting the wrong studio buttons, as you can see. Yes, we're going to clean it up. See, this is season 1. So, again, thank you for watching Map TV again. Don't forget to follow Craig, Sotkovsky.com. Go follow him. And don't forget, he's offering that free 30-minute session, strategy session. Okay, it's normally 15 minutes, but for you all, he's giving it to you for 30 minutes. Please have a conversation with him. He's a wonderful man, and he's done a whole lot, and it can help impact and change your life. Again, this is Coach Keller. Thank you all for tuning in. It's time for us to sign out.